Alright, there I am on YouTube. Hit start all. Twitch, Kick. Alright, so let me get that light behind me in a second. Yeah, I hit the 1/3 point in the book, and it feels done up to that point. Well, done-ish. Right? There's still editing and new chapter breaks and all that fun stuff. But now I'm kind of readdressing how the rest of the book should go. And the last time I did a book, same thing. I hit a point where I had to reapproach the outline and rewrite it. So now I am working on points, on new chapter breakdown. I don't feel like there's much that I have that isn't good. It's just ranking the order appropriately, dealing with a new character introduction. I'm trying to figure out how to get it, resolve neatly and make sure that I'm ending on a high note, that I'm not like hitting the end portion of a bunch of arcs and then continuing with a bunch of information. I don't want to hit my tension peak and release and all that and then just fill it in with like exposition about how happily ever after works and whatnot. So yeah, what I've been doing with this outline is I'm not numbering my chapters because I'm planning on moving stuff around because there's a certain sequence of event that I want things to go in so everything appears logical. But I'm putting in days for some reason just to help me like mentally track how much time is actually passing in the story. So doing chapters without numbers and putting them under the days so I can try and figure that out and get the order going. I actually got a raw list in a notebook of all the significant events, and I'm doing chapter breakdowns. I'm trying to figure out, what makes sense. So the next chapter that I'm thinking about doing is Garrett spars with Corbin. That's one of those emergent chapters that wasn't in my original outline at all, but I feel like it's necessary. Before Garrett gets into his duels with his brothers, it shows that he has some skill. It also lets him lose a duel, which I think is important. And it allows for a parallel, because I kind of had it in the back of my mind that Corbin and Miri would have like a relationship going on, and I want Corbin to talk about that in this chapter and how he doesn't want to go public with it just because of all the stares that they get. As a cat girl and a half work together, it just feels a little bit it's embarrassing. Like he's struggling with the optics and with what people think, which is just a parallel of Garrett and everything that he's keeping hidden. And so it gives me a nice little, it lets me sort of hit Garrett where it hurts. So this is where he determines, like, he's going to at least tell his mother about this. He's going to tell his parents. He's going to, like, tell somebody. And, yeah. And then from that, go into the trial with Sathrael and Paravol. So the trial, or the Inquisition that Garth is holding, kind of takes up a lot of mental space, a lot of time, and so Garrett doesn't get that chance right away. I'm planning on splitting the trial between like 2 characters per chapter. I don't want this to drag on too long. I might end up splitting those further so each character gets their own chapter, but then that just feels long and tedious and I don't know. We'll see. Day 2, Jocelyn makes another attempt at seducing Garrett. Arista overhears this time and curses Jocelyn yet again. Perhaps Arista's just returned from the shore and is fully charged. Blaine witnesses the curse and immediately tells her father. So I'm worried about diffusing action, about my highs not quite being high enough. Like I gotta build tension. So like a big pivot to the story is Garrett dueling with Garth, and then showing mercy. But then Galen comes in and challenges Garrett right away too, and Garrett defeats him. But then really the whole point of that duel is Jocelyn to come in and be all protective and nurturing and sweet to Galen, and calling Garrett a brute for how he treated his brother, even though he was, exercising restraint. I really want to get this done. I feel like I've been deliberating over this for too long, which is my nature and Garrett's nature, and things we both need to get over as I write this book. Just a little bit out of it today. Hi, Riz. Dude. Let's get that light. Yeah. Two seem to have found a bond. This is their happily ever after moment. And you see how different my outlines are. Like, this is my original outline with just the fat paragraphs where everything is like this chapter and due to just to these big blocks. And now I'm doing beat by beat lines. To keep them separate. The idea being, if I need to move a part and it's isolated, I'm kind of wondering if I'm coming down with something or not. A little bit of a cold, I think. Excuse me. So, trying to make sure everything is in a logical sequence. So I've been doing a lot of like writing down the beats that I want, the scenes, and then writing out the logic. Like, this has to happen before this has to happen after this has to... I'm trying to figure out the order so that everything has proper like progression. Procession with Alien King to the beach. And this is a big moment in the story. Arista or Sea Witch form. Garth protests the whole way. Now, originally, I was going to have the king tell Garrett that he should be the next king while he was lying in his... So originally what was going to happen is the king was going to be like on his deathbed. Yeah. I don't feel like I should take that away. chapter. The king seems to be on his deathbed. So, yeah. This is just filling up day 6. And this is day 6 from where I'm starting. So this, I'm wondering if this isn't day 7. Going to see him. Gregarious asks Garrett if he's willing to be king. Uses last wish guilt. Garrett accepts the crown. Excuse me. Arista orders guards to take the king on a... God, what is it? I'm going to say stretcher, but I know that's not the term. Stretcher down to the sea. Orders Yggdra free and joins them. takes the ailing king out into deep waters. Panic on the shore. Stirred up by Garth's family. Mr. returns carrying the king. Should that maybe be another chapter? Let's see. Let's make that another chapter. It's like the final reveal chapter. King is healthy and restored. Confesses he knew about the poison. Didn't think it would get so bad. Chide him. I'm going to say chide him is the right term. Garrett calls out Gregarious 2 for the poisoning. Spoiler. Shares blame for his complacency. Willful ignorance. banishes Gregarious 2 and Garth to the Lakeside Estate he wanted for himself. Initially. So again, Garrett is showing mercy. That's pretty central to his character. Then do I want to do a wedding? Like this is the next week of writing. I am not even looking at Twitch right now. Shame on me. Oh, and fine, nobody's talking. It's good. It's good. I'm not being rude then. Or is this all another chapter? With the official trial. So I got a lot, like what I call 17. Like at the trial, Gregarious 2 is officially exposed as the buyer of the poison. Garth is revealed as complicit due to willful blindness. The witch is released from the dungeon, which I have that earlier. Yes, this is Finch. Yeah. Let's chapter last. Wedding of Garrett and Arista. Time jump. Sorry, I find the urge to call the wife right now. She got mad at me last night, looking at our taxes over the last years and seeing how little I've contributed to our finances, how little I've made. She's upset, and she can't be with me, can't move in with me, can't even spend the night. I don't know if calling her is the right move. I'm really tempted to, though. Like, she just, I don't know, shook me, and now I'm feeling insecure, and now I'm feeling like latching on, and I'm losing my mermaid. I don't know. It's just, I don't know where we stand right now. And she's upset. She wants to be with me, but she can't be with me because I'm not making money. So please buy my book. Buy my book, please. I need to make sales. I need to try and save my marriage desperately. And she even said last night, it's not about the job, it's about the income. So if you could subscribe, buy my book, follow me on all my different forums, that would be fantastic. Let's see. I sold anything today so far. So the reports. Yeah, this month. Somebody read 1 page of my book yesterday. 1 page. Last time I sold a book was on the 17th. 1 page. I read 1 page. That's not even enough for me to get paid. Like, the royalties won't even kick in for something that little. So I'm really thinking I gotta look at my Kindle Direct, my Kindle version, and see like what are people actually seeing. Like, I want to say it starts with chapter 1. Like, I have it set up so you're not getting the copyright page, you're not getting the dedication page. It just starts at chapter 1. I want to say that's how I have it set up. Let's check real quick. At the very least, I can see how far down I've gone as far as like listings. Drowning the Lonely Isle. So I got my 4 5-star reviews. Yeah. 3,830 in dark romance, 8,815 in folklore, 1,680 in mythology. I really gotta seriously consider how I'm describing it. Maybe change my intro. Go to Kindle, read the sample. I want to say this starts on chapter 1, right? Yeah, I got it started right on chapter 1. Drowning, Garrett was drowning. Only moments before, his world was of hope and sunshine. The southern breeze had carried him steadily toward his far-flung destination, warm and gentle as a promise. He was sailing to meet the fair Jocelyn, Princess of Ardenholt, born of the kingdom of Aldrin, his destiny, arranged while he was still a child. Not only the second son, this union would bring great fortune to his kingdom, pride to his father, and ease his mother's persistent worry. He had never met his betrothed, but he, and that's where someone chose to stop reading, had studied her painted likeness often enough to feel as though he knew her shy smile, her lowered lashes, her gentle disposition praised by every bard. Those are long sentences. First chapters are rough. Like, that's where some of the worst writing will actually take place in a book. But, like, you get into the pacing of it and you figure it out. Chapter 1 is always brutal, which is tough because you wanna hook people with it. His eyes were so fixed upon the horizon where she waited that he never thought to look behind him, never saw the storm cloud swelling like a velvet curtain being drawn across the sky. He couldn't register the crewman's frantic cry to get below the deck. A surge kicked beneath his feet. The ship lurched forward, then pitched backward so hard Garrett's teeth clacked together. The bow, once gaily bouncing along the tide, shot upward like a striking snake, climbing high into a sky that had turned black. Lightning tore it open. Thunder hit an instant later. A sound like the world being ripped in two. The crack of it felt close enough to sear his skin. Thunder rolled over the deck, hard enough to rattle bone. The ship screamed, wood buckled, joists popped. Something deep in the hull cracked like a breaking spine. A violent gust slammed in from the west, and the ship tilted, righted, then pitched again, drunken and helpless. So, I know this is a short stream. God, just really want to call my wife right now. I'll probably just go walk away and then I don't even know if she's going to pick up right now.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I didn't know if you were actually going to pick up.
But I did.
You did. You
I
did.
did. What's shaking?
Nothing, just me.
Oh, baby.
Mm-hmm. Hi. Are you out of food? You have wet food. You have wet food. You're just in the mood right now. Mojo. Yeah. Mojo, you're in a mood too. Everybody's in a weird mood this morning. Because I'm in a weird mood this morning. I'm in a weird mood, yeah. Like anxious and horny. It's a bad combo. Lou's laying there coming right now. Huh? Yeah. But like Mischief has got the zoomies and is meowing and doing crazy. Just out. Yeah, she has food.
Shampoo she likes.
I'm assuming. What the fuck, cat? Shh.
Maybe turn off the little cat.
Yeah, that might be good for her. Mojo was just digging to come out. Rizzy got up like nice and early this morning. He was just sitting in the center of his tank staring at me. Yeah. Yep. Hey, buddy. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, my little spiky dude. Saw some cute baby beardies at the pet store yesterday. Just Pet Supply. I went to Pet Supply, but first I stopped in the GameStop and I asked about exchanges and stuff like that, like presentations. The box that I had in there, and like, yeah, it's just a clusterfuck. So I was like, how orderly do you need me to have stuff? Like, yeah, so what they want is they want to make sure that I have the connection cords for every system and at least one controller for every system that I bring in. So part of my plan is I have all of that stuff in the truck right now, is to bring that in and go through and organize it. So yeah, yeah, sounds like it. So, I'm trying to do stuff today so I can be lazy tomorrow. Because after I donate, I'm fucking out with it. I get really tired. There's a crash release. Huh? They call it bullying. I'm not. That's what we no, I'm selling food. I'm selling the shit. But I got 2 more visits. Yeah, where I get like a maximum amount is like a new builder. And then after that, the value drops. I think it's still worth it. I never get about $50. Yeah, yeah. And they're quick. I like plasma. They're quick. They're professional. It's in Maple Grove, so it's better. They got better machines than the CSL that I was doing. And after that, I think it drops to like 50, 60, but they have a point program where I earn points every time I go in, and then I can cash those in when I get up to a certain amount for like extra money and stuff too. So, yeah, seems like a much better deal, much better facility, much nicer people, more professional. I got a little bit bruised last time I went in, but it already healed with me.
I know I can maybe bruise my hand with my couch. I was really happy about that. You know, I almost passed out.
Yeah.
Members are thinking before that too. I got the same way. She's like, I need you to talk like you're in a smoky room. Take the blood and she's like,
Yeah.
and so you can remember to do that. Talk with them. As soon as I get the stand. I also been told that you should have a house when they pull the dog, you put it over your head. You have to hold it. So it's the same thing for guys.
No. No, you just have to like move your fingers, like do a grasping motion. It's not even supposed to be that tight. It's just moving the fingers on that arm. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. No, we don't put the arm in the air. Nope. I hold it down and I just have to hold my elbow up so they can do the wrap. Last time I got the same wrap as you, that was my first time getting the X and not just around my elbow. Mojo, stop, dude. I will let you out in a little bit, you monster. He's definitely in a mood. Lulu, why do you seem so down? Why do you seem so down, Lulu? Sensing my phone. Alright. Alright, baby. Okay, talk to you later. Have a fantastic day. Alright, see ya. Love you. Mo. Yay, she actually answered the phone. Hi, Lou. Hi. Well, that's not a great use of my streaming time, but yeah. Lou's indicating she needs to go for a WALK. So I'm going to do that. And then I got to give Mojo some romp time. Happily ever after chapter. So this is time jump. Alright, let's just real quick. Control C. Pop that in ChatGPT again. See what it says in the chat that I have called Chapter 5.5 Outline. What's up, YS Books? How you doing? You doing this morning, Stokes? It's good. How's the writing going for you? currently at that phase of redoing my outline for the book. Like I hit the 1/3 mark, and now I'm just not sure about the sequence of events. So I'm just playing around with things before I get into it. I'm in the marshes, the trenches part, where I'm just starting the road of trials for my protagonist. Yeah, I'm trying to get into doing the Substack thing. I finally did a blog on that. I'm thinking when I'm done with this outline, I'll do yet another one. I perused one of your last ones where you talk about your book series based on your like growing up on the Bible stuff. I'll have to check that out. The Bible is actually a huge inspiration for a lot of my writing too. Deeply religious upbringing. Like my ma had me reading the Bible starting with Genesis 1:1 all the way through. As soon as I was reading Go Lad Go, like as soon as I was putting together like 3 and 4 letter words, she had me start doing the Bible. Yeah, the bloodline. So actually all my writing and stuff like that was inspired by a verse in Genesis where it talks about the sons of God coming down and marrying with the daughters of men, having children by them, who were the Nephilim, who were the heroes of renown and the men of great wisdom. That line stuck in my head when I was a kid reading it at like 4 years old, somewhere around there, and it just stuck in my brain like, why didn't they make a book about that? That sounds cool. And so I always associate that as being the source of all mythology. So my fantasy world is built around that concept that I had when I was just a little kid. And then Pilgrim's Progress. Someone told me that story, or told us that story while I was at Vacation Bible School as a kid. And that sort of episodic adventure journey really inspired me to be a storyteller and to be a writer. And I recently purchased a new copy of it. So I actually have it on my shelf in my list of things that I gotta read. Let's see. Big structural notes. Nice. Awesome. Let's see. Political trial arc, prejudice arc, romance arc, secession crisis, magical reveal arc, dual arc, public spectacle arc. All of them are strong, and we shape them so they escalate cleanly instead of competing. Yeah, that's the issue that I'm having. I'm trying to structure my rising tension. The spine of this entire arc is Garrett choosing who he is, not who poisoned the king, whether Arista is dangerous, whether Garth is corrupt. Those are pressures, but the story is Garrett choosing. Love or optics, mercy or dominance, crown or conscience. So every chapter should push him towards that choice. Yeah, this is... Yeah, really me trying to like build up this character, trying to give him proper changes. Does this force Garrett to move closer to choosing? If yes, keep. If not, compress. The overall arc, high level, days 1 to 3 is political fracture. Day 4, truth begins surfacing. Day 5 to 6, power explodes. Day 7, choice and restoration. So I got a week in the timeline. I don't know. I don't even know how many chapters at this point. I'm not even numbering my chapters right now. I'm just calling them chapters and putting them in by the day in order to get my timeline established. Day 1, strong opening. The sparring chapter is excellent. It does establish Garrett's skill, establish Corbin's loyalty, mirror hidden relationships, plant Garrett's intention to confess. Keep it important. Corbin should not lecture. He should offhandedly say something. Either you stand beside someone or you don't. Yeah. That's an emergent chapter. I wasn't sure where to put it in. It's like there are so many things where I want certain things to trigger other events, but yeah, it's hard to stack the order. No, I'm planning on getting back into that this evening. It's coming along though. I still gotta do layers of skin and get my gradient colors in, and I'm just a little fixated on her hair right now. Like the last round of hair that I did, it was too thick, it was too much, took up too much space, and it wasn't giving me any depth or perspective on the tendrils. So, and I'm not finding a good brush that's giving me depth in order to give me like control, because I want something where like light pressure is a thin line, heavier pressure gives me a thicker line, so I can shape it out. And I'm not finding anything that's giving me that in Krita, so I wound up using the warp tool, which is a little more mechanical, a little more complex, but I feel like the top layer is working. Well, I should say top layers, because another issue that I'm having here is I'm using the stroke method in order to outline her hair. And in order to get that to keep from just becoming one massive shape and actually have those blue lines in between the tendrils for division, I have to do them all as separate layers. So it's actually slowing the system down quite a bit. But like I said, still got to do the gradient color. Still got to finish out more layers of this hair. And then I've got that back layer in the dark purple, and then the top layer, which are all separate layers. So I have to do everything in between on her head. And I like what I'm doing by isolating the drowning in the lonely isle, so that's actually like visible and not being canceled out like it was before. But yeah, spec. Yeah, still got a bit more to do, but I like the direction that it's going on. I've just been kind of out of it the last couple days. Like I was sick on Sunday, sick-ish, and admittedly been a little too sucked into playing video games, which I should be streaming because that at least keeps me honest. But yeah, these are all separate layers, and then done with the warp tool. And yeah, separated and isolated a bit. But it'll get done. It'll get done, and this will be good practice for when I start doing the cover for book 2. Which I want to get going on that. I want to have this done and get going on that by the time I start my edits, which I'm really hoping the draft is going to be done by the end of this month, because really I wanted it done, in January. That was the goal. But thanks for popping in. I'm actually about to take the dog for a walk. And then I gotta let the rabbit loose because he's going nuts in his cage this morning. Rizzy is even awake, nice and early, and looking at me, giving me side eye. So, thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate you. I will be back later. Probably gonna do a gaming stream next. All right. Peace out.